Hey there, it's local yarn shop day.
Yay.
And we are here with our friend Alycia, who I will introduce in just a moment. We have all the things that we're going to talk about right there on our website at fuzzygoatyarns.com. And I have a couple new items I want to show you that we got just for local yarn shop day before we dive into all this great yarn, because I know as soon as I dive into it, I'm going to totally forget about the other things. Just for local yarn, well, we will have them after local yarn shop day, but we got these in time. So, you know, we love our little folding box. We sell tons of these. They're great for yarn bowls. Melissa uses them for organizing her stuff and then puts it down in her yarn bag when she travels, and they fold up, and we've got them with our all-important come together logo. So we got that item, and then our super cute mini minder. This is how it works. You put a ball of yarn on it, and then you can pull from the outside. This, I usually pull from the inside. This is enough to make me want to do it from the outside. That cute? Okay, so I wanted to show you those two. And Mr. Fuzzy Goat has already been down to halfway to Tallahassee and back to pick up a restock of our olive and flannery billy bags. So we were out of those, and so we got those back in. In a little bit, we're going to start showing you our traditional KnitWise fingering pairs. This year they're exclusive. There's just one of each, but they will be live to see online at 11. So that means you can watch us, you can relax, you can write down what you like, and you don't have to panic. They're just going to, you know, like if you see one that comes later, but somebody's already bought, you could just watch us at 11. It's geared to be available for you to find and shop, so if that makes sense. But in the meantime, we've got all this amazing yarn and Alycia here. So let me introduce Alycia. Alycia is my friend and the creator of KnitWise Fibers, but she's also the creative director at Florida State University's Division of Student Affairs. That's a really big deal. I used to work at FSU. I know what a big deal that is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't know if you've read the news recently, we kind of had a scary situation. Yeah.
I was checking on Alycia about 10 days ago. All right, we're going to talk about yarn today.
Let's talk about yarn. It's a lot more fun.
So she dyes the most lovely yarns that are really Fuzzy Goat favorites. You just have an amazing color sense. Seen it all laid out. This is just one section of our center table. We've got it all over there. We've got DK, floofy, more silk over there. We're going to show you lots of different ones like that.
All the basics.
Alicia's created several yarn events for us. Local Yarn Shop Day would never be the same without you. I think you even scheduled some surgery around us. Just like, so
I can't miss local yarn shop.
I know. I don't know what we would do. I might just have to close up or something. But you've been in our Fuzzy Fix and our Valentine's box and our Good Vibes tour. So we're just really glad to know you. So we're doing really a takeover. I might call it a pop-up now and then, but it's really a takeover. And so we laid out at least 9 bins, I think, and these big black.
The big black ones.
Yeah.
Big black.
Yeah, because I know Mike would take them back, and then you could fill
it up again.
And she has a full-time job. All right, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and then we'll stop and look at yarn and back and forth. Okay. So first one is, we have like 8 bases here today. How do you pick your base?
So the vendors that I source from will send out emails and let me know when new things come out. They're also really good at sending samples, so I typically order a sample of something that sounds floofy and fuzzy and lovely, and then I'll dye it up and knit it up and see if it's something that passes the test. Yeah, so I know a lot of people have complained in the past about alpaca or what's the other one? Mohair being itchy, and when this new brushed merino, which is very similar, was released, I snatched it up and it just dyes beautifully. It's so soft. The yardage on this is incredible. 656 yards in this skein of really soft merino. So I figured, you know, if people wanted that mohair look, But
And a lot of people
didn't do it
are
because it's
allergic
itchy.
to
Yeah.
mohair.
So this was an alternative, and it's just so fun. And I just love the way it feels. So it has to pass the feel test. If it doesn't feel lovely, I don't care yet.
It looks like cotton candy.
So there is the Love Rocks, you guys.
Okay.
I just brought some in, so it might not be on the website yet. It literally looks like cotton candy, that colorway on this base. So it's hard for me not to put them in my mouth, which I haven't. So
What's your favorite base?
Oh, I don't know.
You can have a favorite.
So it would probably have to be.
And they probably change.
It does change. And I love how certain colors knit up on different bases. I really love how things look on the billowy bulky. It has this sheen to it that's incredible. But knitting with, currently it would be probably the Squish Silk or the Luxe Merino. What did I name that one with the silk in it? It's technically, it's a sock weight yarn.
Silky Merino.
Yes, the Silky Merino is lovely. But then I have I don't know. I love them all. I really do. I love how floofy the DK
This one is
up.
the Silky Merino. I'm going to hold it close so you can see how
It's
see
just
that
so
shine.
soft.
And it's
Oh.
50 silk, 50 superwash
So
merino.
mine. Right now, I think my favorite is this Squish Silk lace. I'll hold it double to make a fingering weight yarn. Yeah, and it's just such a delight to knit with. It's just so. It's like
This
a
is
cloud.
my favorite sweater to wear.
Yeah.
Because it's so lightweight. In fact, I'm already shopping. I'm gonna make another
Yeah,
one.
it's my favorite. Again, I hold it double, so I'll pull from the inside and the outside from one skein, one cake, to get a fingering weight yarn from the lace. Because again, the yardage, 875 yards. So you can't go wrong.
All right, let's look at some more yarn, and then
Okay.
I'll ask you some more questions. Just pick any and tell us about. Oh, this is a new color.
Is this because I'm hoppy? I'm going to show
Yeah,
on the silk lace. Because I'm hoppy, was bunny inspired. I guess it came about a little bit before Easter. It's really, really fun and springy, and I knitted up a sample, don't mind the bits, I haven't sewn those in yet, with the goat, which is a custom colorway. So it's just an incredibly fun, flowery,
it's just happy.
very happy because I'm hoppy, which again is bunny Easter inspired. So this is a new colorway.
And that's HOPPY. So if you're looking for a happy and you can't find it, that's why.
It's hoppy. Springy, again, pairs really well with the goat. And I don't remember the name of this, but we'll find out and let you know.
Yeah.
So sorry. It's my ADHD brain.
Let's see. This one, is this a new color? No.
So I don't know if you're familiar with medium wash. This is medium wash doubled to make it twice as dark. And this is called Off the Cuff. For all of you AI fans out there, ChatGPT helped me with some names this year. I'm advancing. You gotta embrace. Well, it's not going to replace anything, but it can definitely help enhance. So yeah, Off the Cuff was a ChatGPT suggestion for the name, and it's just a really darker denim than the medium wash.
All right.
It's twice as
So how often do you choose a new base?
So again, from the vendors, you got what you got until they release new ones.
Okay.
And so they are getting more adventurous and creating new bases. But then you also have to consider how much is it a trend, and will this last?
Right.
Is this something that is worth investing, bringing into your business? So if it's something that I would see myself continuing to work with, I typically will pay more attention to that one. And also it just depends too. Like I'll get really excited about something, bring it in, and then knit with it, and it's just
doesn't feel.
it doesn't work. Yeah. It's tangly, or it gets stuck on itself, and frogging is a nightmare. So if I don't like working with it, I would have to assume that others will find it difficult.
Yeah, that's a good test.
Yeah.
How long is the whole process? So you have a naked skein of yarn in your hand. Let's just pretend this doesn't have any on it. So once you have the base in hand, because I know getting the base and getting it in, once you have it in hand, how long is the whole process?
It depends on the base. So, and also the color that I'm trying to dye. So solids, you have to have a wet yarn. It's a lot of science, you guys. When I got into this, I thought I was going to play with colors, but it's chemistry. This is a lot of science. For an animal-based fiber to accept the dye and have it be permanent, you want, for a tonal solid color, you want the fiber to be wet so that it will accept the dye at an even rate across the entirety of the skein. So you have to soak it. And silk, you have to soak 24 hours. because it's hydrophobic. It doesn't like to
Okay.
open up and accept that water. So
Fascinating.
starting with silk, you're looking at a minimum of 24 hours. Just the soaking process.
Okay.
So if you want to then dye a solid, I like to dye with the cold bath. Again, it allows the fiber to accept
Okay.
the dye more evenly at a slower rate, so you don't get a lot of variability in the color. So we're talking an hour, 2 hours minimum, and then you slowly heat it up. And then in order for the dye to become permanent, you have to add acid. And then once you add the acid, it fixes. So
Okay.
again, you want to ensure that that color has evenly permeated the entirety of the skein, add the acid, add the heat, and you're good. So we're at,
Wow.
what is that, 20, almost 30 hours for one skein of yarn. The speckles, the pure
Okay.
speckles, this guy, if it's not a silk base, if it's just wool, I can soak it, heat it up, and speckle it, and it's done. So it's just a matter of how long does it take my machine to heat up on that day. So, you know, maybe an hour, hour and a half. But
And-
that's just the dyeing process. Then you have it's hot, so I hang it to let it cool and drain, and then I have to rinse it.
And then it
then
probably
once
depends on
it's
the weather.
rinsed, the weather impacts, rainy weather delays. I have a spin dryer now to help spin it, and then I hang it in front of a fan, and I have to rotate it to ensure that it dries evenly. And then I skein it, and then I label it, and so the majority.
You've been doing a lot of that this week and last week.
There's a lot more not dyeing time spent than actual dyeing time. So I put on a podcast or some stupid movie that I don't have to pay attention to, and I just get after it.
That's what I do when I'm doing my numbers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I gotta have something to keep
Something
me
background.
company.
Yeah, exactly.
How much, okay, so how the heck do you match colors? We have several colors that have been requested by you, and it's amazing.
Yeah. So, I'm a creative director, and prior to that, I went to art school. So there's a lot of color theory,
Okay.
and just I painted a lot.
So you know
mixed
that that
paints.
is a yellow green. And,
Correct.
I mean, this one, we
Yeah.
started with this one here, After While, which is
Yeah.
now a steady. And then Lois was wanting something between After While and, I can't remember what the other one was, but you came up
Yeah.
with Dill with it.
Yeah,
And
Dill
she's
with
like,
it.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really just dialed into color. It's I guess it's kind of one of my superpowers. That and stressing out. I'm really good at.
Well, you hide it really well. Do the names ever come first?
Yes. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kendrick Lamar. There's a mustard.
Okay.
So I'm desperate to come up with a colorway.
All right.
It's just mustard with
Okay.
a bunch of A's. It
Okay.
tickles me to think of someone coming in and saying, "Do you have any mustard?" So that one, I have the name, but I don't have the actual colorway yet.
Okay.
So it does happen.
That's
where I'm
really funny.
Yeah, like Pearl Jam. I knew it's my favorite band from high school, but I created a colorway PURL, Pearl Jam. So I knew that I needed a Pearl Jam colorway. Which is here somewhere.
It
potentially.
is. Yeah, I remember it.
And then some of them I named because, like Linger, it's also a really lovely song by the Cranberries that I enjoyed, but the dye lingered in the pan for so long. It took so long for it to set, so I thought it was appropriate to name that one Linger.
Do you like dyeing solids or speckles more?
So it's faster to dye speckles, and I really enjoy knitting with speckles because it's kind of like stripes almost, in that you're waiting to see the pattern unravel as you knit
Okay.
it. But solids, there's just something about a good luscious, like you were mentioning earlier, the Wicked Lucky, this really emerald green.
Yeah. Let's see.
So seeing it be
my
born
gosh.
in
Look
the
at
dye
it.
pan.
Look at it in the in the silk.
Yeah.
Look at this.
So Wicked Lucky. So just watching them, and again, when I can get it really good and even, chef's kiss, love it. So I can't play favorites. I love all my children.
Okay. So I can't ask you a favorite color.
Oh, so again, and it shifts. Right now, Peach and Quiet.
Yeah, show that knit up too.
So Peach and Quiet,
And we have this in a lot of bases.
because it's my favorite right now. I'm actually knitting another thing in Peach and Quiet as well as this. And it has the base color, just the peach, is called the Fuzz. So it's a nice complementary color if you wanted to do a fade. Oh, you just posted a pattern that's got a fade.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for that. What else do I really
But
like?
I want to show this too. Just
Okay.
look how the speckles are distributed in this. It's really beautiful. Is this one skein?
That is 2 skeins.
So 2 skeins. You wouldn't know where.
And that is Lounging Tea by Hopi. I know what that one is.
Where one stops and starts.
So I really like this one too. Pink Peony Club, just because it's a riff of Pink Pony Club. I don't know if you're familiar with that song. So that was where the title came first. I knew I needed to dye something that referenced Pink Peony Club. And I'm also knitting. Grab that project. Just ignore me throwing stuff around.
We do that here. You see, stuff drops all the time.
So I have to pick up some stitches. So I'm knitting another tee.
What are your stitch stoppers?
So this one is just too small. They pop off.
Oh, I'll show you.
Yeah,
How to
look,
do
I'll
it.
have to
Sometimes I
pick.
put 2 into 1 hole.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
smart. See,
And the cable
Cadence
locks.
knows.
Yeah,
So
I'll
Pink
help you out.
Peony Club. I don't know if you can see the pink pops and the yellow in there. It's a lot of fun. And then I saw on Facebook. I'm part of the nostalgia. So Poochie. We're my 80s girls.
There's Poochie right behind you.
Yeah, what's here too.
Oh, here. Okay.
It's all
Yeah,
fun.
Madeline's been looking at
I
that one.
had this puppy as a little girl, so when I saw Poochie, I was like, I have to dye up a Poochie colorway. So I did. So, which is a hot pink and a lovely magenta. So go Google Poochie if you're curious. This was Poochie in her jogging. She was knitting or jogging in this particular outfit.
So is this sample Care Bear stare?
It is.
Yeah, we have a lot of Care Bear stare.
Y'all, I'll get these bits sewn in. I hate sewing in the bits. Alycia did this top.
Yes.
I forgot the name. We'll have to
Alycia,
ask her.
yeah.
Yeah. So this was a lot of fun. Care Bear stare. I alternate between 2 skeins, and I just do the trick where you hang it in the front, or I'll do the trick where you stop 3 stitches before, slip the 3 stitches, and then continue knitting with the new.
Okay.
So a couple of options for how I like to alternate my skeins, but we'll have to get you the name for this. But yeah, Care Bear stare. I have a ton of it because it was so much fun to knit with. I'm trying to remember if I brought another sample. I think I have this knit up in something else as well.
All right, let's look at some of the pairs we
Okay.
put together for you. We have, I think it's 60.
That sounds right.
We're not going to show you all 60. That would take a long time. But we're going to go through some of them. And
They're heavy. It's another thing I didn't realize dyeing yarn, how much, you gotta have these muscles.
Yeah.
They weigh a lot.
Wet.
It's
I can only
hot
imagine
and
wet.
wet is
yeah.
worse.
Yeah. So I've got the pairs, some of them over here. I'm going to pull them out and have Alycia talk about them. And like I said, they're exclusive. There's just one of each pair, and they will go live at 11 on our website for you to choose and buy. So if you can't find them right now, that's why. This way you can just watch and enjoy and see which ones you think you might like.
Is that program?
So this one, yes, this is number 17. And so tell us about those 2.
Pearl Jam and Charcoal. So again, Pearl Jam was my favorite band growing up. And I just always imagined it as a literal jam. So this fruit with the green pop.
Okay.
And then Charcoal, it's a lovely neutral. This knits up beautifully. I think I have a sample of this as well. It's got a purple undertone to it. So these pair beautifully. Yeah.
And we have lots of 2 skein projects linked at this site. We also have our 2, every year we like to lift up other designers. And so we have a crochet and a knit pattern that uses 2 fingering skeins on our LYS Day site that we're covering most of the cost, and you'll just pay $2. That way you think it's a valuable thing to have, and the designer will get their full rate. And we've already told them we're doing it, and they're super tickled. Okay, this one here is number 16. Well, I'm going to take it out of the bag because all you're seeing is a bag.
Yeah, the reflection.
Yeah.
Silencio Bruno. Great movie. Why do I always forget the name of the movies? It's a Disney cartoon. Somebody in the chat can help me. But this was named after that. And then After While, which is the staple green, because it really, really pulls out. In Silencio Bruno, there's a lot of green specks. So this is a beautiful complementary-esque. They're adjacent in the color wheel, so this is a great color combination.
These would be great for any of Casapinka did not do an LYS Day pattern this year to let other people shine, but any of her past ones, these would be great.
So it would be like this, but just purple instead of the peach, the orange.
Oh, and my sweater pattern is Lumi, L-U-U-M-I. and it was a lot of fun to knit.
Yeah, stripes are really popular right now. There's a lot of stripe patterns out there.
love stripes. Okay,
Me
here.
too.
All right. This one is
For our
number
adventurous
14.
knitters. Glitch, another Disney movie based on, oh my gosh, Wreck-It Ralph, that's what it is. So the Glitch was Vanellope Von Schweet, I believe was her name. So that's what the reference is here. And then Kitty from all the kitty hats back in the day. And it also reminds me of Boo from Monsters, Inc. I'm apparently a Disney adult. We just realized this live on Facebook.
Is that a thing? A Disney adult? It probably is a thing. And
It is
I
a
didn't know
thing.
that.
I haven't been to Disney in forever, but a lot of my names are from, like the drop off you were talking about earlier is a reference to
This
another
one's,
Disney
I like
cartoon.
this. I like them all. This one's kind of complicated. Here, oops.
Yeah,
This one is 15.
This one's bold. This is a one of a kind red speckle. Dye mistake. I meant to grab a different powder and I got this instead, but it's still beautiful. This is a lovely red and a deeper charcoal for our people who are big into contrast. Who
Yeah.
really want something striking, but not in a neon way. In a more.
But we got some neon ones too.
I try to give as many options
Yeah,
for as
yeah.
many people as possible.
Let's see.
I even did a couple of solid options this year instead of variegated.
I'm not getting my hand on the neon one, but here's another.
Oh yeah, this one's
This
beautiful.
one won't last long. This is
Yeah.
number 4.
So bi-coastal. My husband works in California, and I live in Florida. So we are a bi-coastal family, and this reminded me of the ocean. And then this is speckled, not stirred. I have no idea why I called it that, but that's when I speckled it.
You sound like Sean Connery
Yeah,
when you say that.
I'm trying to. It's my poor attempt, which is a lovely. I don't know if you can see the little speckles that just match perfectly. So this will be a lot of fun to knit.
That would be beautiful.
I can't wait to see what everybody makes. You have to
Yeah.
tag.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I think I put that back in the right order. Let's look.
There's so many. That we saw that one.
We
Yeah.
saw that one. See, I really like that one.
It's beautiful. Silencio Bruno in the green. It
Okay,
also-
this one's different,
This one is different. This reminds me
but
of
I see how they go together.
like a holiday. Yeah. So this
This one's
is
number 7.
pomegranate punch, and I don't know if it's kind of eaten it. It's got a bunch of little yellow pops of color in there. So I thought it would pair really well with bee pollen, the red and gold, and for whatever reason I always associate this color combination with the winter holidays. For me, this would be a lovely holiday shawl.
See, I was thinking it was a cheerful version of garnet gold.
It is. It's garnet gold adjacent. I will allow
Yeah.
that. I think that's an option as well.
As the one who probably polices
Maybe
whether it's
that's
appropriate garnet gold.
Subconscious.
Yeah.
Why I was drawn to this as well.
That Seminole gold was always hard for us to work with
Yeah.
in making websites.
Oh gosh, it's very difficult from an accessibility standpoint. And it always ends up looking, I call it old man parchment.
All right, so the ones we were showing you was on floofy fingering. Now we're gonna look at some of the ones that are on the silk base.
Yeah, silk sock. So this is another one that would be really similar to, it would knit up similar to what you're
This
wearing.
one is 59. We had our special little numbers written so that they're backwards to us, but frontwards to you.
So I'm obsessed with this colorway. After a while, I have it knit up on several samples, and it's got a cousin, Googly Bear, which I also have
yes.
in the shop, which is just a slightly different variation of the green. But it pulls the green speckles out of You Jump, I Jump.
Yeah.
So this will look like a lovely little tea party or a little garden.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, it's a really lovely combo. And again, similar. It would probably knit up similar.
Yeah, it
to
would
what
be
you're
similar
wearing.
to that.
You would just have.
This is
more of a white
moving
base.
to the country, and after a while.
We also have available as well.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Here's one that's goes in the softer direction.
It does. So this is a lovely Among the Wildflowers, very floral, pink and yellow, and this is OMG.
It does look like ghee.
It worked well. I mean, what's the point? So it pulls out the yellow again in the pink. I don't know why I'm so drawn to yellow. Maybe it is the FSU connection, but I have a lot of yellows.
Well, I like yellow,
Pops
and
of
it's
yellows.
hard to find a good yellow, but your yellow is very wearable.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, let's see what we got here. This one. is
Ooh.
number 51.
So I love this colorway.
Yeah.
Homosassa Sunset, and it's got these beautiful red and pink pops that pair beautifully with Jolly. So for my purple and red friends, this is
Brioche.
lovely.
I see brioche when I
That
look
would
at
be
that.
stunning.
Yeah, a two-skein brioche pattern.
I haven't done a good brioche in a minute. I'll have to pull out some patterns. So
Yeah.
yeah. Homosassa Sunset and Jolly.
Alrighty, let's see. Let's grab. Let's just do 2 more
It's
here.
so hard for me. A lot of these pairs I wanted to keep for myself.
I know. Well, I had that same feeling when we
Yeah.
were getting ready here.
I mean,
This
how
one here is
fun.
52.
Care Bear Stare and Crazy in Love. This is just a fun
Yeah,
purple, pinks and reds and golds and oranges.
that would make me happy just to wear that.
So much joy knitting with these 2 colors. So that's really pretty much
Yeah.
my whole purpose is
Right? Like, why do this if it's not fun?
right. And I like to work with fun colors. Colors that keep
let's
me
see.
engaged.
We'll do one more over here. Here we go. Here's one that's.
For my
We'll go the opposite
calmer,
direction.
Yeah, this is a lovely calm.
This one is 56.
So Brizo is another one of my all-time favorite colorways, with the teals and the blues and the chartreuse speckles, and then Stormy Skies. So it's just a lovely, calm, like a lazy day is what I think of when I think
Oh,
of these.
nice, yeah.
Stay in bed, watch Netflix kind of
Yeah.
day.
A little
Calm,
overcast.
yeah, calm vibes.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some more questions
Oh,
for you.
okay.
How the heck did you learn how to do this?
You goodness gracious.
Like, what was the initial, like, I'm gonna dye yarn?
So I've always known that I wanted to do something in the world of knitting. So I went to art school, and then I ended up going back to college after thinking I'd be a stay-at-home mom and realizing quickly, no, that's not gonna work. So then I went back to graphic design, created KnitWise as a project for school, and didn't really have a way to bring that KnitWise to life until I started really getting into knitting and learning about the option that you could do this yourself. You could dye your own yarn. So I started watching YouTube tutorials.
Okay. Wow.
And we started initially with Kool-Aid, playing around. And then I have ADHD. So once I go all in on something, I don't just get a couple of things. I buy the entirety of it. So I bought a bunch of different dyes and different bases, and really just learned by making mistakes. And continuing to join communities of other dyers who really, like you've done with your business owners.
Yeah.
There are people who really are kind and welcoming and aren't gatekeepers, and who will help others in the industry, which is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing that people have that community to have. So
Right, to not be not let competitiveness make them be exclusive.
correct.
Yeah.
We can all
Yeah.
shine in our own
Yeah.
ways. And
Yeah.
everybody dies so different.
Yeah.
So it's just wonderful that there's those other.
So if somebody is thinking about doing it,
Yes.
how long does it take from like getting the bug to getting a few colors you really like?
I mean, I immediately loved what I did.
Okay, all right.
Looking back now, I'm like, bless her heart, she tried. But at the time,
That's a name of a color.
It is.
Not that you tried.
No,
you can
bless
put
your
that.
heart. Yeah, it's a very southern thing. That one had to be color.
Yeah.
But again, people love what they love, and everybody, it's subjective to what you like. So as long as it makes you happy, who cares what other people think?
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah,
So try it.
try it. I enjoy it.
All right.
Just know it's more science.
It's kind of like running a yarn shop is
A
lot more, especially these days, technology than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a nut for trying to be as efficient as possible. So I've created new systems now that have really
I
helped.
love systems.
Yes.
I like making a system. We have a spreadsheet that we're both working in. Yeah.
I figured out ways to hang the yarn without having to hold it. Back in the day, I used to just have to hold this heavy, hot yarn as it younger Alycia, I guess, was.
All right, let's show them some other yarn, because I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
And then, all right, so you're billowy bulky.
Oh gosh.
Talk about that.
This bulky yarn.
I made Mike a hat out of that.
I
out of
have so
Jolly.
many hats. So this is great. One skein, you can make a hat, instant joy, instant gratification, and you're done immediately. So whenever I feel overwhelmed and I don't know what to knit, I grab a skein of Billy Bulky, and just, even if it's just a basic beanie, this gives me so much joy, so much satisfaction. You're done in a day, a couple of days. And then you can keep it and be selfish like I am typically, or you can squirrel it away and give us a gift for whenever you need it. But I would think it's silk, and it's not. It's 100% superwash merino. It just radiates with the color. It just glows.
And you have bases that I haven't seen anywhere else.
So that is, when I source, I do try to be a little unique in what I offer, because so many dyers use the very same base. And it's a lovely base, but why be the same when you could be different?
All right, we talked about Peach and Quiet.
We did.
Okay, so this surprised me. This is not what you usually dye.
It's not.
It's lovely.
But this is an old colorway. It's it's called Mr. Chandler, which is a character from Penny. It's not Pennywise. Pennywise is stuck in my head. It was a Netflix show years ago that I used to watch with my husband. But
I love how complicated it is. There's like golds and browns and grays and slate in there.
So I really enjoy layering colors and getting the combination of colors when they overlap. But yeah, this is at least 4 or 5 different colors layered into one base. And Mr. Chandler, I believe, was played by Josh Hartnett, so he was. So obviously he deserves colorway. So we've got a nice neutral, more masculine type, air quote masculine, beige colorway, which again, is typically not what I do.
All right, we just have to look at this. I know we talked about the brushed merino lace, but this is Crazy in Love. Yeah. Look at that. I mean, it's just,
I love that color.
I wish you could see how light this is. Like, it weighs nothing.
And it's like these two together is a lot of fun. I think this is Googly Bear. This is the other
one. Yeah.
Googly Bear. Isn't that lovely?
If you leave that behind, I won't tell you.
This is a fun knit. I'll have to find the name.
All right, so I'm looking at probably close to 1,000 skeins of yarn here. You have a full-time job.
I do.
That is really rare for our dyers.
Yeah.
How do you balance that?
I don't.
Okay.
There's no way. Well, I mean, I do my best. So I obviously work your typical hours, and then in the evenings I'll pick up slack, and Saturdays and Sundays my husband will be like, how are you? I'm like, I dyed all day. He's like, oh, I'm very, no, D-Y-E. I D-Y-E. So I'm just out in the garage in my studio dyeing for.
Now, did some of this overflow into your house, or is it all contained in the garage?
We have overflow.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, I've seen your garage, and you made magical use of every inch.
I'm good at maximizing a minimal space. So I've got tons and tons of yarn, lots of bases,
lots of
ready
shelving
to go,
going up,
vertical shelves. I've got all of these boxes from Costco that I use to help organize things. But balance is just tucking in, really, and getting it done.
All right, so I'm hoping none of your colleagues are watching this, but do you ever quickly write down ideas at work?
So if I do have a colorway idea, I have a notes app where I'll write something down. And so I work in a wonderful place and in a creative environment where I bring my knitting to work. And when I'm just overwhelmed or can't focus on whatever the project is at hand, I'll take a knit break. And me and my entire creative team will just sit and knit together. It's really fun, and I love to see
what they're doing.
Yeah, and I think it created a welcoming environment for other people to kind of bring their knitting, and we talk. We'll have fiber chats.
I love that.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Okay, so besides being a great supervisor, which we just learned,
because I let my team knit.
Yeah, well, you are. My last question for you is, what will we all be surprised at that you are also good at?
So I am so critical. The only thing that came to mind, and I'm so embarrassed to say this, is this week I got a new personal record at the gym. I can do 7 strict pull-ups in a row, like pull-ups, legit pull-ups. So that's
intense.
It's a lot, and from what
I bet there's a lot of other things you can do that's a lot that I can't even imagine.
Potentially, who knows?
Yeah.
But that's the one that came to mind when I heard the question. So hopefully that's good enough.
That is very good enough, right? Isn't that impressive?
At almost 50, I never thought I'd be able to do one, much less 7 in a row.
I think we're gonna close here so that we can start getting everything organized and have you shop and buy those things. The pairs, I'm gonna have it set for a timer to go on at 11, so you'll see those there. We've got free shipping during local yarn shop weekend. We're just gonna call it a whole weekend. And we will be here to put things together for you. Really sorry about that alarm going off outside there. Somebody is missing their car, I guess.
Yes,
yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. So thank you all for watching, and text us at 229-236-GOAT if you have any questions that we can help you with. Alicia's gonna be sitting